You are listening to KLRN Radio, where liberty and reason still reign.
Today, this breakfast isn't just breakfast. It might be the first McDonald's breakfast you're having at McDonald's again. This lunch might be a weekly tradition you hadn't had in weeks. And this dinner might be the first one you bought for not just you in a while. Whatever this order is for you, McDonald's will be here to take it.
Get more of the chicken you love with a delicious McChicken sandwich for $1. And for an extra buck, add a refreshing Dr. Pepper. Dining rooms are starting to reopen in certain communities at participating McDonald's. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal.
In uncertain times, we could use someone to lean on. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Oklahoma will stand by you with plan options to fit your budget. If you've recently lost your job, had a baby, or moved, you can still get the healthcare coverage you and your family need. Financial help may be available for those who qualify. Call 855-452-BLUE or visit hereforyouok.com to see if you're eligible to enroll. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Oklahoma, a division of Healthcare Service Corporation, a mutual legal reserve company.
Not to be a backseat driver, but can you say for sure you got the best monthly payment possible on your auto loan? Could it be that you might have gotten a better deal by shopping the loan at a few places and have a lower car payment? Next time, before you go car shopping, visit Communication Federal Credit Union first. Our auto loan experts will find you a perfect loan and get you the lowest monthly payment we can. Communication Federal, your auto loan experts. Restrictions apply. Federally insured by NCUA.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 1-800-516-7602 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 1-800-516-7602 to take your call right now. Call 1-800-516-7602. That's 1-800-516-7602. Again, 1-800-516-7602.
A new year means it's time for a new home network that can keep up. With Cox Internet, you have the speed and coverage your family needs to stay connected. You'll enjoy Cox's fiber-based hybrid network with options for fast upload and download speeds. And if your household has lots of connected devices, Panoramic Wi-Fi may be the perfect fit thanks to its additional control features. Plus, with advanced security on Panoramic Wi-Fi, you'll know each connected device is securely protected 24/7. A whole world of connectivity is yours with Cox Internet. Learn more at Cox.com.
'62. 1962. I wasn't born yet. Marilyn Monroe died in 1962. The president was John F. Kennedy. Cuban Missile Crisis was in 1962. The very first Walmart store appeared in 1962. Johnny Carson took over The Tonight Show in 1962. In 1962, that was the last time that the Detroit Lions were 8-2 after having a completely lackluster 3 2/3 quarters of football. With 3 minutes and approximately 10 seconds to go, the Detroit Lions decided to do everything completely right, scoring 16 unanswered points in 3 minutes. The final nail in the Chicago Bears coffin was our own Aiden Hutchinson knocking the ball out of Chicago's quarterback's hands and ending up with a safety. Probably the craziest football game I pretty much have ever seen the Lions play. 12 points. They were under 12 points with 3 minutes to go. And they just did everything right for the last 3 minutes of the game and pulled it off. 8-2. Absolutely incredible. Man, I can't believe it. It was something. It was something. Welcome. It is Sunday night. I am your humble host, Alan Ray. No, we're not going to talk sports ball all day. It was just noteworthy, okay? We sports ball good again this week. We had University of Michigan won. Yeah, no surprise there. I have reservations, guys. I don't know if they're going to take Ohio State. I really don't. It seems to me they're kind of going backwards, although they're playing a different game. They're playing a game of, you want our playbook? Here's our playbook. Here's our playbook. We're going to give it to you, and we're also just going to run right at you, and we're going to slam you all the way back to your own field, and we're just going to score touchdowns one right after another on you. I don't know what the game plan is. I got a feeling they're going to snap right back to their old game plan when they take on Ohio State. Otherwise, they're going to get their butts handed to them. Yeah, I see you in there. Fat boy. I know where you're supposed to be. Hey, if you're listening to to Sunday Night with Alan Ray, you find yourself traversing around the interwebs, get into that chat room at www.klrnradio.com, where you'll find Jeff, who you just heard from The Lost Wanderer. Great show, Jeff. I science nerd out every time he's on. I just sit back with a big smile on my face, almost forget to do my own show. We got Ordy in there. We got yours truly in there. We got Big Mike. We got Rex. We got an unnamed fat boy in there who I won't give his identification away so he doesn't get fired. Let's see. We got Eric in there, and we got Raptor in there. Yeah, Raptor. I don't know how I'm going to get you started, but it's going to be an interesting Saturday next week. It really is. Of course, you know what? Here's the thing, though. Staying on sports ball, Maryland's got a good team. Guys, Maryland is going to end up being a powerhouse if they keep going the way they're going. They gave Ohio State trouble. They gave University of Michigan trouble. They've been giving people trouble all year. They're a good team. They're nothing to sneeze at, and they scored more points against U of M than any team has all summer or all fall. So there you go. And Pitt won. You know, yeah, I like to see Pitt win, Eric. I really do. That's not a bad thing. Alabama squeaked by. Yeah, I saw that. Georgia, I guess, won against Tennessee. I'm kind of a closet Vols fan, but I also don't want to piss off my other co-host who's a huge Georgia fan. So, it's a good time of year. It's the most wonderful time of year. We got Thanksgiving coming up. That's going to be this week. In my household, the day after Thanksgiving, we're having a barn party. We're having a big bonfire because the holiday train is coming through. And it all started out with my daughter and I a couple weeks ago sitting out on the front porch. And I said, I should just throw a big, have a bonfire out there and just, heat the barn up a little bit, have a TV out there, play some Christmas videos, play some music, and just have a good night and wait for the train to go through, the holiday train. And I've mentioned this before. The holiday train, they decorate it all up in Christmas lights. It's just a beautiful sight. Everybody watches it. So, yeah, we'll see what happens. It's going to be cold, but that's okay. I've got a lot of things to burn. I have a lot of things to burn out there. I've been cleaning the barn all out. It looks good out there. I'm ready for winter outside, except for one thing. I've been trying to get an antenna up. We'll talk about that. And we'll talk a little analytics, antenna analytics. I've got things to talk about tonight, but, I'm just getting burned out on the news. Everything is just doom! You can only take so much doom. And we're going to talk a little doom tonight, but hey, that's it. Guys, let's kick this off. Let's have some fun. Okay, so I'm putting up a 6-meter antenna. Let's go ham radio nerds for a minute, guys. I know you won't mind in chat. I know you won't. And those of you who have stumbled across this podcast, you don't know. I'm a ham radio operator. I nerd out with radio stuff. I like frequencies. Yeah, I did something really crazy yesterday. I actually put up a long wire antenna around the top of my bedroom because I've got an old Radio Shack realistic shortwave radio that I gave my dad for Christmas long time ago, and it's in perfect shape, and he gave it back to me before he passed, and I've always kept it pristine. And when I put this long wire antenna, just wrapped it around my room in different places, clipped it, I got all kinds of, because it's up there above where the wooden roof is, and there's not a lot of metal, so it gets good reception, and I got all kinds of cool stations that I can just hang out in my room before I go to sleep and listen to some pretty cool shortwave stations. But anyways, I'm working on a 6-meter antenna. 6 meters is kind of an odd frequency. When it's just a normal day, 6 meters is kind of like 2 meters and 70 centimeters. It's just another one of the frequencies that you can just use locally and get out there about 40, 50 miles, And I was going to buy an antenna, and I found out I bought a receiving antenna years ago. A couple of years ago, that was a Comet DS150S. And maybe I should put this in the chat room. And, no, I don't want my bookmarks. Get out of here with that. Get out of here with that stuff. And if those of you who don't know what a disc cone antenna is, it looks kind of weird. They're kind of pyramid shaped. They've got little things sticking out all over the place. They're kind of cool, though. And they're used if you want higher frequencies. Like people use them for scanners all the time. They get used for scanners or higher frequencies all the time. And what I didn't realize is that they also are really good. They've got them tuned for 6 meters. And I also realized that it's a 5.1, I think, dB gain when you use it for 6 meters. So I went, well, I don't have to buy another antenna. I can just put this up. So I worked on it today, and I got to use my little Mini 1300 analyzer. Now, the Mini 1300 is, well, I'm not going to say it's definitely based on a Raspberry Pi. Well, by golly, all the ports and everything just look, and it's just like a kind of a homemade looking case and just a project case and a screen on it. And it's $185. You can get them for $170. Sometimes you can get them on sale for $165 like I did. And it does all of the testing on all of your antennas, and it's actually really cool. I'm falling madly in love with this Mini 1300. The analytics on it, the analyzation for all of your needs for antennas and stuff like that. I mean, you can use it on darn near everything, especially ham radio, but it also has some other options on it, has some other things that you can do with it. And I did a lot of testing out there. And one thing, you can sit in your garage, you can build your little antenna, put it all together, and do some testing on it, and you get okay SWR, standing wave ratio. Yeah, it'll get under 2. Put it up, even just 6 feet, 7 feet, and your SWR changes drastically. So if you're you don't have to have a ham radio license to put up an antenna. If you're into SDR radio, you're into receiving radio, you want to perfect, your antennas and tune them just right. I got both of the links in there. Let's see. Let's get this one in here too. Hang on just a second. What am I doing here, guys? Yeah, I'm screwing up. Let me get the Mini 1300 in here. There we go. We'll share it in the chat room. It's kind of just and I've got it protected because it's kind of tough. It's a metal case and everything, but it just seemed, nope, that's the same doggone one. I'm trying, Raptor. I'm just failing miserably on doing something simple like putting a stupid link in. That's just how I am. It is not. It's been a great weekend, but I'm going to tell you right now, wow, it's okay, let's do it. 1300. Let's punch that in there. Let's get it in there. No, I don't want DX Engineering. I really don't. I like DX Engineering. I spend so much money on in DX Engineering. They own like half my soul, I think, right now. But that's okay. They got good bargains most of the time. Here we go. Here we go. The upgraded version of the Mini 1300. That's what I want. My gosh. Anyways, so I'm doing analyzing all of this, getting it ready, and hopefully by the weekend I will put it up. There you go. I finally did it. Hand clap. I'm good. I'm all right. Don't worry about me. Good Lord. So anyways, yes, it's now in the chat. The Mini 1300, it's a network analyzer. You can do a whole bunch of cool stuff with it. It's definitely a nerd fest thing. But anyways, we got a lot to talk about today. We're not going to stick too long on ham radio stuff. I could go on forever and ever, but I won't. A lot of weird things going on. We're crashing headlong into winter. It's coming. And of course, we've got El Nino coming on. We've had La Nina, and it's been around for a few years. We're going into an El Nino season, and what that means is, especially in like the Texas area, Florida area, places like that, you're going to get a lot of moisture. You're going to get a lot of rain. It's going to help alleviate some of the droughts that's been going on through there. And what is CBS News? I mean, they're all jumping on this thing. It says we have an El Nino charged winter season on the way. It can help to get the snow machine going in certain parts of the state. Along with that, new monthly 90-day outlook from the Climate Prediction Center is out this week. This is basically the outlook for winter season for the months of December, January, and February, and it's looking promising for getting some above normal snowfall for at least the beginning of the winter season. El Nino is stronger than normal going into the cold season. Snow amounts in a strong El Nino season can vary from a few inches to heavy above average snowfall. El Nino is the warming of the ocean water off the coast of South America. Trade winds reverse directions and flow east or west to east, increasing the sea surface temperature over the eastern Pacific. This can disrupt storm flows across the globe, including the United States, as El Nino tends to peak in the months of December on average. Blah, 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 blah. Yes, okay. So what this means is we, especially in this area, in the Michigan area, we're going to have kind of an above normal temperatures. Now, that doesn't mean we're not going to have snow. In fact, that can mean just the opposite. A lot of times, Michigan winters, if they get too cold too soon, you drop to zero and you stay that way, and there's not a whole lot of snow. It's just sickeningly cold, and it's just blah. If we are above average temperatures, we can have some pretty nice days like we've been having. It's been 50 degrees all weekend, just beautiful. But when it starts cooling down just a little bit, like it always does in January and February, we can get mounds of snow, piles of snow. And that includes you too, Raptor. That includes everybody that's north of the Mason-Dixon line. There could be some dry areas throughout the south, and then once you get down, I don't know, looking at this map, it looks like right around, the Texas Panhandle area, Louisiana, the southern part of Georgia and Alabama, Florida, them places can get really, really wet. It's already starting. Associated Press even come out today, and they said that more than a foot of snow and 100-mile-per-hour winds are possible as a storm approaches Sierra Nevada. Says the National Weather Service issued advisories Saturday along the California-Nevada line ahead of an early winter storm that could bring more than a foot of snow to the upper elevations of the Sierra and winds gusting up to 100 miles per hour over the ridgetops. Now, Ordy, is that you? Is that your area right there? Are they predicting this for you? Throw me a shout in chat. Let me know. Winter weather advisories in effect from 4 p.m. Saturday through 4 a.m. Sunday, stretch from the Lake Tahoe area or near Reno to south of Yosemite National Park, including Mammoth Lakes. So they're about ready to get bombarded. They're going to get nailed. It's coming. Anchorage, Alaska is just getting pummeled right now with snow. They started out with above normal temps, and all of a sudden the city is seeing 39.1 inches of snowfall in November already, with 11 days of the month still to go. The previous record was 38.8 inches set in 1994. So this is the snowiest November since record keeping began for Anchorage, Alaska. Yep, Ordy says, my general area, we're going to get nailed. And the reason I'm pointing all this out, and I repeat myself year after year after year, and I'm going to repeat myself because I want you to wake up and understand. Be prepared. We are heading into winter. Get blankets and vehicles. Make it where if you do somehow get stuck in your vehicle, and don't think it won't happen. I just got a complaint this week that one of the fleet cars that I'm over had a flat tire down in Virginia somewhere. And I don't know where the downfall was, where the miscommunication was, but they called our highly expensive 24/7 roadside service and didn't get anybody to get out there to tow the car to someplace to get the tire changed until 6 o'clock in the morning. They broke down at 1 a.m. Okay, that's 5 hours sitting on the side of a road trying to get somebody to tow you. Be prepared. Blankets in cars, pull that bug out bag, take a few minutes, pull that bug out bag back in your house, go through it, and make sure you've got a way to make shelter, little tarp to make shelter. Make sure you've got your paracord, some clips, something to make a quick tent out of, or something to get yourself in your car and just, insulate yourself, get yourself into a position where you can survive a night in your car. A little bit of food, a way to heat some water up if you have to, so you can make some coffee or something to keep you warm. You have to remember that this is a time of year where things can get dangerous. If you break down in the summer, you can sleep in your car. For God's sakes, I've slept in my car in the summer for many, many, many times. Sometimes I probably should have and didn't, but yeah. But in the wintertime, people die in this time. And if it's a heavy snow winter, you're going to have to remember to, and I say this time after time, Harbor Freight's your friend. You can go to Harbor Freight right now, at least in this area. You can go to Harbor Freight. You can get a pretty big blanket for like $5. They're on sale right now. You can get tarps. They always have tarps for like $7 or $5 or something like that. Sometimes they give them away for free. A blanket and a tarp in a car can make you a nice little in-car tent that can get you through a night and keep you fairly comfortable and warm. Don't be an idiot. And I see so many people doing this. It just makes me cringe. They grab a light jacket. Well, I'm just going to be in the car. They grab a light jacket and they take off for a 2.5 mile, 3 mile, or 2.5 hour, 3 hour journey. The people in Gilligan's Island took off for a 3 hour tour too. Look what happened to them. Okay. Mike says, one thing I like about being retired is I don't have to drive in bad weather anymore. Oh, amen, Mike. I don't blame you. And, and we'll get to this in a little bit with the way they're pushing cars and stuff like that. I have nothing against electric vehicles. I really don't. In fact, I had a lot against them, and I deal with them on a day-to-day basis. Oh my gosh, yes, Ordy, that minimalist camping. Oh my gosh, Ordy turned me on to this minimalist camping YouTube channel. and I've fallen down that rabbit hole. Number one, Artie, I think you can fix her. I think you can. I think that's your wife right there, dude. That's your next ex-wife. But she also does some pretty cool stuff with those little tents and everything. But anyways, yes, be prepared. Some snacks. You don't have to go full bug out bag, full 72-hour survival thing. Put extra blankets, put salt and a little shovel in your trunk to make sure you can dig yourself out if you need to. Put a way to make a hot drink. I mean, they have stuff where, they're kind of expensive, but you can pop the top on something and it's got an automatic heater in the bottom that heats the drink up to keep you warm. Carry those rip packs, those heater hand warmers and back warmers, a couple of those in a bag. Put them in a little box in your trunk or put them in the back seat where you can get to them. It'll keep you alive at night. My gosh, we've already reached the bottom of the hour. When we come back, we might have to dive into a little bit of politics. We're going to talk about the UAW and a couple other things. Don't go anywhere. God, I can already reach the bottom of the hour. Can I drone on or what? I'm Alan Ray. We'll be back in just a few minutes.
As a Blue Cross Medicare member, managing your medications from home is simple. With our easy-to-use prescription drug plans, you can get the medicine your doctor prescribes from your local pharmacy or even delivered by mail. For the trusted care you need and want, Blue Cross will be here with more convenient ways of getting it. Like we've been for more than 80 years. Blue Cross Blue Shield of Michigan. Confidence comes with every card. To learn more, visit bcbsm.com/senioroptions.
Hey, Randy, what you doing?
Oh, hey, Dave. I'm just making a list of things that make me feel really, really good.
Wearing Bombas socks.
Trust me, that's number one on my list. Bombas socks feel so good because we use the smartest design and best materials, making them the most comfortable socks ever.
Plus, because socks are the number one most requested clothing item in homeless shelters, we donate a pair for every pair purchased, and that feels pretty good, too.
To shop Bombas or learn more about how your purchase supports those experiencing homelessness, go to bombas.com/comfy and get 20% off your first purchase.
If you prefer real mornings, shouldn't you have a real breakfast? At McDonald's, we get real about breakfast. That's why you can have a savory sausage biscuit with delicious hash browns for only $1.50. It's time to wake up breakfast. Single item at regular price. Prices and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal.
Today, this breakfast isn't just breakfast. It might be the first McDonald's breakfast you're having at McDonald's again. This lunch might be a weekly tradition you hadn't had in weeks. And this dinner might be the first one you bought for not just you in a while. Whatever this order is for you, McDonald's will be here to take it.
Get more of the chicken you love with a delicious McChicken sandwich for $1. And for an extra buck, add a refreshing Dr. Pepper. Dining rooms are starting to reopen in certain communities. At participating McDonald's. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal.
Not to be a backseat driver, but can you say for sure you got the best monthly payment possible on your auto loan? Could it be that you might have gotten a better deal by shopping the loan at a few places and have a lower car payment? Next time, before you go car shopping, visit Communication Federal Credit Union first. Our auto loan experts will find you a perfect loan and get you the lowest monthly payment we can. Communication Federal, your auto loan experts. Restrictions apply. Federally insured by NCUA.
condolences go out to the Carter family. Rosalind Carter passing away today at 96. Lived a good, ripe old age. You know, I detest Jimmy Carter's politics. Democrat. Jimmy Carter made me the conservatarian that I am today. And the funny thing about it is, if he would go back in time and run for president right now, if he were young again, he would probably be considered a right-wing extremist. That's how far the left has gotten. That said, as far as people goes, I've heard nothing but good about them. And when you're a person who, even though his politics suck, her politics suck, their politics sucked. But you've got a couple of people there that lived their life post-presidency like I'd like to see most presidents live their life. And you got Jimmy Carter's out there. I mean, he's in his 90s. He was still doing Habitat for Humanity stuff and things like that. Of course, they can't hardly move anymore. Both of them are on the edge. They're both going to be gone soon. I doubt Jimmy Carter's going to last a few more weeks, but Rosalind Carter, I didn't know she had dementia really bad, but and she championed the ethical treatment of people with mental disorders. So, yeah, my condolences. I'm not going to say anything bad about her. I mean, just my condolences to the family. That's where I'm going to go with that. And, I mean, come on. She was the first lady. We'll leave it at that. There's an honor there. I'm going to do a hat tip to her. And then we got this idiot in charge of our country right now, Joe Biden. He's leading us down one of the robot Carter's going to win the 3020 election. It could be the 2050 election, Jeff. We've got a moron who's leading us down the toilet. You can feel this nation circling the toilet. We're going down. I have very little to almost no faith that we're going to recover from the last, I don't know how many years since Barack Hussein Obama took the White House and turned us into a socialist communist nation. Most people don't realize it. It hasn't hit most people yet, but we've been screwed since about the first, year that Barack Obama was in the presidency. And this, Joe Biden is Barack Obama's third term. I think that Obama's pulling the strings. Well, Biden's not pulling the strings. Biden's an idiot. Okay, Biden can barely tie his shoes. The only thing Joe Biden and his family are interested in is who can they exploit to make more money. And I honestly don't feel that he has the mental capacity to actually run this nation. I think it's a group of people with Joe Biden at the head, and they're pulling his string, and sometimes his mouth moves. And every time his mouth gets off of the narrative, he gets in trouble. But this is disturbing. This is according to Fox News. Biden invokes wartime powers to fund electric heaters as he cracks down on gas appliances. President Biden invoked Cold War-era law in a surprising move Friday to pour taxpayer funds into domestic manufacturing of electric heat pumps, an alternative to gas-powered residential furnaces. In a joint announcement with the White House, the Department of Energy said the federal government would award a historic $169 million for 9 projects across 15 sites nationwide in an effort to accelerate electric heat pump manufacturing. The significant level of funding was made possible after Biden utilized the 1950 Defense Production Act to increase domestic production of green energy technologies. These morons believe that we are at war with the climate, with the weather. To quote the dunderheaded, and I don't think it's actually Jennifer Granholm, I think it's an imposter. The mole is gone. I don't know where the mole went, but Energy Secretary Jennifer Granholm. Did I say Granholm? Granholm, that's what I meant. Says getting more American-made electric heat pumps on the market will help families and businesses save money with the efficient heating and cooling technology. These investments will create thousands of high-quality, good-paying manufacturing jobs, that's a lie, and strengthen Americans' energy supply chain, that's also a lie, while creating healthier indoor spaces through homegrown clean energy technologies, if you don't freeze to death. Let me tell you what, let me just stop right there, okay? Let's discuss something. We, the United States of America, the morons who are running the United States of America at this time, are putting 100% of our eggs into the electricity basket, the electric basket. We are going to have electric cars. We are going to have electric furnaces. We are going to have electric everything, electric stoves, electric everything. The problem is this, and it's not a if, it's a when. Electricity is fragile. Our electric grid is fragile. They're building a solar farm about 6 miles southwest of here, tearing up perfectly good, productive farmland and putting in giant sun panels. Now, don't get me wrong, I have nothing against solar. I have solar panels myself. They're great for emergency situations. They are not, however, great at replacing the current electricity supplies. My fear, my concern, and what I want to talk to you, dear listeners, about is not the if, it's the when we get hit by another Carrington event, which for those of you who don't know history of the Carrington event, and I know people in chat, you've heard me say this time after time, we've studied it, just indulge me a moment to somebody who may just out of the curiosity stumble across this podcast. Carrington event was an event where we were at a solar maximum, much like we are heading into right now. Next year is going to be the solar maximum of the maximum. And there was what they call a coronal mass ejection on the sun. Basically a giant explosion, and it sent particles hurtling towards Earth, and we went right through it. We're seeing the northern lights. Sometimes they're really beautiful this year because we're at a solar maximum. That's when it happens. They said they saw they saw the they saw the northern lights all the way into almost the equator when we hit that storm in the Carrington event. They thought it was daylight out in the middle of the night. It was so bright. We had Morse code stations. A lot of them caught fire because the large, giant lengths of wire, similar to what we have strung out all over this planet, act like sponges, pulling in these ions, and basically it destroys things that are any kind of antenna, anything with a wire, anything that can bring in the electromagnetic field, it'll destroy it. Now, it won't be as bad as an EMP, electromagnetic pulse, but it will still be very, very, very disruptive. We've had close calls. Very, very close calls. We were like 9 days out from having another Carrington event already, back in the spring. We are putting all 100% of our eggs in the electricity basket. At the same time, simultaneously, we are reducing the reliance of our electric grid. We are putting up big giant fans and giant sun panels, which are not as efficient as coal or gas or gas-fired power stations. We are setting ourselves up for failure, and it's going to be quite the failure. And to tell you the truth, I believe with all my heart that idiots like Jennifer Granholm and even the 3 or 4 remaining synapses that our president has that are firing off, I think he knows this, that we are setting ourselves up for failure, and we are doing it quite intentionally. And by we, I mean the federal government. When you get right down to it, the farther left you go, the more you hear these people talk about population control. And what better way to control the population if a major portion of them freeze to death or die because electricity runs out? And let's face it, folks, most people don't know how to survive without electricity. And that's just it, Eric. You're exactly right. Eric in chat says nuclear fixes everything. If we really wanted to do this, if we really wanted to make everything electric, okay, let's build a whole bunch of nuke plants. It'll power everything. I'm not anti-electric vehicle. A lot of people go, I never own an electric vehicle. Okay, I've driven around in them, several different brands of electric vehicles. Some of them are cool. We just got some Ford F-150 Lightnings in at work. The only problem I have with them is they don't go far enough on a single charge. You get me an F-150 Lightning, 4-wheel drive, and you get it where I can drive 500 miles on a charge. And you get it where I can put 4 solar panels out back, bring that baby home on a Saturday night, plug it into those solar panels without having to plug it into an unreliable electric grid. And then on Sunday morning, I wake up and I'm ready to go another 500 miles. You give me that truck. Make it affordable. And gosh, I'll buy it. I'm not afraid to buy it. But you can't do that yet. It doesn't exist yet. And there's already problems with the EVs we have. So now you're going to, on top of the fragile electric grid we have, you want all these EVs, you want gas vehicles gone. You're going to also add on electric stoves. Everybody has an electric stove. You're going to add on also, everybody has an electric heater in their house, which electric heat is very, very, very expensive. It's astronomically stupid expensive. And the second we have a war with somebody and they fire off an EMP, the second we go through a coronal mass ejection, it all goes away. What do you think is going to happen? But like I said, something I believe down in my heart that they actually want that to happen, because these are the same people that, for all practical purposes, worship the World Economic Forum. For all practical purposes, they, and believe me, I know a lot of practical purposes. For all practical purposes, they march right along with the UN's Agenda 2030. They want a large portion of the planet's population to go away. This isn't conspiracy theory. This is far from conspiracy theory. They tell you this. How can it be a conspiracy theory if they advertise it? Rex, you're exactly right. That's why the Green Party hates nuclear. They know it's as close to perfect as we have, and it is far better than their fascist pipe dreams. Exactly right. We are sitting, and in Michigan, we got this moron, this dunderheaded, spoiled brat rich girl sitting in Lansing who's making us California 2.0. And I guarantee, and she's going as far as basically she yanked any kind of authority away from the counties, and she put it in the hands of appointed stoolies, her appointed minions. So now we don't get a say. If they want to come through here tomorrow and tear up my house and put a solar farm through here, they can do it. I don't have a say in it. The county doesn't have a say in it. I'm just screwed. You know, Mike, and here's the thing. I know that we're not there yet. You know that we're not there yet, but they're going to force everybody to be there yet. It's going to fail, and they're going to go, well, I guess you all are just going to have to ride bikes, eat bugs, and live in a shipping crate. Sorry. They don't care. And if you think that the people running this nation are going to miss a meal, if you think the people running this nation are not going to have gas-powered grills out their back door, eating steak and potatoes and laughing at all the poors who are eating bugs and freezing to death, nope. They're going to do it. Oh, we got a war going on in the chat room. Sorry, Raptor. He takes after his old man. Moving My gosh, 9:48 already. This night's flying. Unless you've been living under a rock, the House Republicans are making January 6th footage public. Democrats are melting down. And I'm looking at some of these things. It's a security concern. No, it's not. And it's not a security concern at all. What it is, it's going to make you look really, really evil. We're going to find out what's going on. Who's this from? Roll call from Congress. Says House Republicans are releasing most of the security footage from the January 6, 2021 attacks on the Capitol. It's not an attack. It was just a protest that got out of hand. Roughly 90 hours of footage had been posted on the House Administration Committee website by Friday afternoon in a move that Democrats and left-leaning groups have called a threat to security. I'm surprised they didn't call it a threat to democracy. What happened to threat to democracy? Aren't we on that anymore? Starting Monday, members of the public will be able to set up in-person appointments to view the Capitol Police security footage in designated rooms within the Capitol complex. Eventually, around 95% of the 44,000 hours of tape will be made available, excluding segments that contain sensitive security information or information that could lead to retaliation against private citizens, Johnson said. You see, the left doesn't want this. They don't want this because you're about to find out the truth. And here's the thing. All right. I've been watching this on Twitter, and I shake my head. And I'm not even going to jump into the argument because it's stupid people doing it. They're like, well, we watched it in real time, and it was bad. It was horrible. There was people yelling and shouting. Well, okay. Yeah, there was. And how can you say the FBI was involved? What is the FBI going to do? Make people do things? Make people break into the White House? Let me tell you something about crowd manipulation, all right? Let's talk about that. You don't have to force anybody to do anything when you're manipulating a crowd, all right? What you have to do, and the way you manipulate crowds, is you make the path of least resistance go where you want them to go. Make it real convenient to follow the certain path. Large crowds of people, the larger the crowd, the dumber they are. The crowd IQ, that's a real phenomenon, crowd IQ. When you get 20, 30,000, 50,000 people, they have the IQ of stampeding buffalo. Or as Men in Black, the first Men in Black movie put it, a person is smart. People are dumb, panicky animals. That's the truth. That was like one of the most profound, truthful things ever in a movie. So what you do is you make it really convenient for them to go down a certain path. And then you make it really tempting for those people to do certain things that they normally wouldn't do on a given day. And you plan a few bad actors, a few operatives, to show them the way, to make it even more tempting. You plan a few bad actors to say, break a window and just open a door and say, come on in, we're invading the Capitol. And you always get a certain number of stupid people that'll do it. I remember the day. I called it as I seen it, as it was going on. And I did a show a week after. I said that was crowd manipulation. There were so many people in there, plants in there. There were so many operatives in there manipulating that crowd and getting them to perform. I called it. So did a lot of other people. And as time has rolled on, and now here we are in 2023, and they're releasing all the videotapes, we're seeing more and more and more that it was actually the case. You don't have to manipulate everybody in the entire crowd. All you have to do is herd them, point the way, manipulate them, bring them in, give them a reason, make them feel secure in doing things they normally wouldn't do, and they'll do it. We do it to other countries all the time. Arab Spring. You think Arab Spring was grassroots? You think all of a sudden every Arab that participated in that woke up one day and said, hey, let's go attack a bunch of places? No. They were manipulated, and a lot of them were manipulated by the CIA. If we do it in other nations, and I've said this time and time again, what makes you think we're not going to do it here? Of course we do it here. People don't wake up to this stuff. It just drives me nuts. So it's going to be interesting what comes out of all of these hours. And, of course, you got Liz Cheney. We got the tapes. We did it right here. No, you picked and chose the evidence that you wanted. You scoured the evidence to pull out the nuggets, the tidbits that made somebody look guilty, without including things that made people ask questions like, well, why are they doing that? And who are these people? You came out, Liz, at the very beginning and said there were no federal agents in the crowd. There were no paid informants in the crowd. There was none of that. Well, that was a lie. It was a complete, utter lie. And you know it. Unfortunately, we don't punish elected officials for lying. It's too bad. Speaking of lies, and I hate to talk about this because it's just so trendy, I guess, right now. Once again, Hamas has been caught lying. The press has been caught in a lie. The press has gone all... The press is freaking me out, man. There's so many people right now that sound like freaking Nazis. And most of them are journalists and people coming from the left. It's like we've gone into 30s Germany. Israel Army says it's found a 55-meter tunnel under Gaza's Al-Shifa hospital. Remember the hospital said, oh, they bombed the hospital, killed all these people, which they didn't. They send messages all the time saying, hey, we're getting ready to bomb this place, get out. And, of course, Hamas is forcing people to stay there. You either get shot by Hamas or bombed by a bomb that you were warned about. 55 meters, it's about 180 feet. 10 meters deep, 32 foot under Gaza's largest medical facility. The Army published a video on its official Telegram channel showing a soldier lowering himself into the tunnel. The footage was shot with 2 separate cameras on November 17th. The video shows a staircase leading to an arched concrete passage that ends in what appears to be a door. The Army says its entrance of the tunnel shaft with blast-proof doors and a firing hole. According to the statement, the tunnel was found in the area of the hospital underneath a shed alongside a vehicle containing numerous weapons, including RPGs, explosives, and Kalashnikov rifles. So when the media is out there going, oh, they bombed a hospital. Yeah, they bombed a hospital that was being used as what? A place to kill people. Before we go, the whole UAW thing's heating up. It's kind of interesting to watch this. The UAW is out there right now. And if you didn't know what was going on, the big three, they've been on strike. Some of it's been ratified. Some of it has, I don't know. It's kind of a mess. But according to the socialists are pissed off. And, UAW, United Auto Workers, it's a socialist organization. At least it started out that way. Now it's just a mob organization. It's just owned by the mob. Sorry, but that's what it is. This World Socialist website. And, you need to locate websites like this and read just to get inside of the people that hate you, what their heads are thinking. It says the United Auto Workers is expected to announce by Friday that its contract for 48,500 General Motors workers was ratified. A fraudulent outcome of an illegitimate process designed to secure the auto company's interests. As with virtually every auto industry contract over the past 45 years, the UAW bureaucracy rammed through its sellout by means of misinformation, threats, and likely outright vote rigging. That kind of sounds like... Sounds like our last election. This is a very angry person writing this. His name's Jerry White. Jerry, you're a very angry person. Nothing that has been announced by the UAW bureaucracy can be trusted. To get to the truth, it is necessary to conduct an audit of the vote, including an investigation of how the ballots were handled. This audit must be conducted under the supervision of committees of trusted rank-and-file workers elected from the shop floor. Rank-and-file committees should gather testimony from workers on irregularities and instances of intimidation. Now, what if you were to take that exact same paragraph and apply it to our last election? Apply it to the 2020 election. You would be called a conspiracy theorist. You'd be called election denier. What's the matter, Jerry? Are you an election denier, Jerry? Socialist Jerry, are you an election denier? You sound like one. According to the union's official figures, the deal passed by only 2,002 votes out of 30,860 cast by production workers, an extremely narrow difference. Among skilled trade workers who must separately ratify the deal, it passed by 1,261 votes out of 5,097. The media is citing the combined votes on the UAW's ratification tracker, but even this shows a narrow approval. So, Socialist Jerry is very, very mad. He's on the World Socialist website saying that this was all election interference. It's kind of funny. This guy, you take these exact words and you put them to the 2020 election, and this guy would be yeeted out of existence as an election denier. We have already reached the top of the hour. Yeah, Jeff ran over a little bit, and that's fine, but I'm not going to run over a little bit. I think I'm going to call it a night. I've worked my butt off this weekend, guys. I got the barn all ready to go for Friday night's party. We're going to watch the train roll through. We're going to have some fun. It's been a while since I've had people over at this house. We got all this property, and the train tracks, of course, you know, if you listen to the Sunday Night with Alan Ray, the train tracks run right through my backyard because you can hear it when they go by and I'm on the air. But we're going to have a good time. Thanksgiving, we're going to have a pretty good time then. I've talked to my wife. I said, look, I think it's just going to be her and I. I don't know if Anthony's coming over or not. Anthony, if you're still in chat, let me know if you're coming over. Even if you are, we'll feed you. We won't let you die. But I told her, I said, don't go nuts. Don't spend hours and hours and hours making all this food when it's just a few people. We're going to be fine. Save it for Friday because that's when everybody's coming down. And she's going to make a big old crock pot of beef tips and gravy with noodles, and we're all going to get fat and happy and watch the holiday train go through from, who does that? Canadian Pacific holiday train, I think. But enjoy your week. Enjoy the Thanksgiving day. Realize, even though all of this crazy crap is going on around you, everything going on around you, we sit here and shake our heads and think the end of the world is coming. But when you unplug from social media, you turn the television off, you walk outside on a sunny day like we had today and look. She's making a huge crock pot of it. We just got even more noodles today. I think even you are going to be full. When you walk outside on a day like today and you look around, it's peaceful. It's beautiful. We're going to be all right. I mean, even if governments come and go, people come and go, build your communities up around you. Build your small communities, your trades and everything else up around you, so that you're going to be okay if it all goes downhill. I'm Alan Ray. Keep it locked on KLRN Radio all week long. I don't know who's going to be doing what all week, but, I'm sure there's going to be a few disruptances with Thanksgiving and all that stuff going on. But, hey, we're still going to be around. I think I'm going to be here next Sunday. I should be. I should have something to talk about. But until then, hey, God bless. Have a happy Thanksgiving. We'll talk again soon.